Hey guys, and welcome to the weekly forecast. My name's Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic, and I've had to do a voiceover for the weekly forecast because the wind was just terrible and the audio was awful. Because I wanted to show you where I was, and I'm at Bruny Island, and you can see there's a ship called the Young Endeavour in the background there. The beach is called Adventure Bay. And I just wanted to do the weekly forecast from a beautiful spot that I'm visiting. However, the volume of the wind and it was just terrible. So anyway, let's get on to the weekly forecast. As usual, I'm going to bring you guidance from the week for the week ahead, for week commencing January 23rd, 2023. And I'm going to choose 6 cards. I've just shuffled the deck, as you can see, and I'm choosing the 6 cards randomly as we go. So I hope you've had a really good week. I had a beautiful day that day. I went out on a jet boat around Bruny Island. It's at the very southern tip of not only Tasmania, but the little island off Tasmania out into the Southern Ocean. So it was a lovely day. Okay, we're going to get started. The 6 cards I choose tell a story, a narrative, and we look at those influences that are working with us during the week. So the very first card that I'm going to show you is the conscious self, the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, in this case, in this reading, represents a legacy that we would like to leave. So it doesn't mean to say we have to do something grand or anything really sort of huge or, you know, that it's going to blow the world away, but it's something of ourselves that we really want to build and leave a mark or our mark on the world that says, hey, this is me and this is what I created. And it can be a legacy still, that it doesn't have to be something that you leave behind for when you die, but it's just something that you create that leaves a mark and says who we are. There's a very real, the king represents that sort of solid a solidity of the how strong it can be and how it can actually reach the world. It doesn't have to reach everybody in the world, just people who matter. Okay, so the next card is how the soul influences this legacy that we want to create. The Page of Pentacles is the universe or our soul's way of saying, this is where you need to speed up, this is where you need to slow down, this is what's going to work and this is what's not going to work. So there's a bit of stop, start, and it is helpful because it builds a strong foundation. The page at the beginning of the court cards is the foundation, the king is the end result. So our guides and our soul are working with us to create a strong legacy by creating a strong foundation. So the next card we're going to have a look at is what's actually the fear or the challenge behind creating that legacy and working with that foundation. The 10 of Wands. So what is it that we fear the most? We fear that it's going to be too overwhelming. We're going to have too many tasks. It's too much responsibility. It's too much. And we can easily talk ourselves out of something very, very special by listening to those thoughts that say it's too much. So facing in the reality of those fears is going to help us create that. But also to face them means they're not going to interfere with creating that beautiful thing that you'd like to, or that beautiful legacy that you'd like to leave in the world, at that footprint that you'd like to leave in the world of yourself. Just remember, the mind likes to tell us all sorts of really big lies. It's trying to help us, but in reality, it's actually preventing us from fulfilling our future and creating something beautiful. Okay, so the next card we're going to have a look at will be our reaction, or how we're going to behave. And this is the 3 of Wands. Now, when I tuned into this card, when I pulled it out, it wasn't more of our action or our reaction. It's more of an action towards us, how we are going to be, how we're going to feel, but how we're going to be perceived. And the 3 of Wands tells me that we are going to get praised, we are going to get recognition. So it's external recognition or external validation, which is going to feel like we are a bit of an imposter. So again, it's the mind is going to, there's a few challenges around building this legacy, and that's why the Page of of Pentacles is there to help us make it strong. So these are the little things and little hiccups that are going to not get in the way of the way our mind is. That feeling that we're imposter or that's way too easy, this can't be right. It doesn't have to be hard work. These are the things to overcome in order to create this strong legacy or this strong, beautiful thing that we're going to that is going to represent who we are and that we can pour our heart and our energy into. So I guess just to recap, those things is creating a nice legacy, overcoming that fear that it's going to overwhelm us, being okay with things coming to us with ease. All right, so the next card is our possible future, the Four of Pentacles. So the possible future, where we're heading with this, and again, we are building things up. So the Four of Pentacles represents jealousy. I don't really get it that we're jealous about anything, but we're going to be sort of facing or perceiving where other people want to like nitpick or criticize, or it's going to feel a bit odd because we are connecting ourselves or pouring our heart into this thing that we'd like to create. So the Four of Pentacles represents that bit of jealousy, that little bit of like it could be a bit of trolling, it could be a bit of criticism, a bit of someone saying particular things to us. So I want you to remember that any bit of criticism, any bit of negative feedback or anything is a chance to reflect on how we actually feel about what we're doing. And again, this is where the Page of Pentacles comes into play, because if we don't believe in it, there's an opportunity here to build our belief in something. And if there is something that we're sort of not too sure about, the Page of Pentacles is an opportunity here that we can discard it or like change it or shift it, because what we're building here, this legacy, will only have foundations and strong foundations when we believe in it. So the Four of Pentacles is going to highlight little areas of our life where we're going to have a bit of disbelief in what we're doing and to strengthen that. So the last card is the Soul Journey. What's the lesson here? So the lesson that we are learning, or the experience that we're having on a soul level, the Seven of Swords represents that part of us that can reflect and look and observe and be objective about what we're doing. So even though we're building this beautiful legacy and we're pouring our heart into it, to build it within the energy of the King of Pentacles means to create it not outside of ourselves, but not to be so caught up in it that it's us. So that when we do have the objectors or the criticisms and things like that, we are not going to die 1,000 deaths. We are going to look at it objectively. The Seven of Swords allows us to take a step back and look at it for what it is and to create it for what it is, so that we can be ourselves and build this beautiful legacy that's going to work and help a lot of other people. But we can also pour ourselves into it without losing ourselves in it. And this legacy and the way towards it, the pathway towards it, as we can see in the cards, are all helping us. These are the initial stages to help us build something nice and strong, something nice and solid, so that it doesn't fall over in the first couple of days or first couple of months. It is something that will be long-standing, and it is something that we can not only create for ourselves but pass along. We will not be so attached to it that we will be afraid to then put it out into the world and let it be a part of something bigger than ourselves. So that is actually the weekly forecast for this week. As you can see, I'll leave it here. I will say goodbye from beautiful Bruny Island, and we are, as I said, I'm in Bruny Island, Tasmania for, actually, we're leaving today, which is Monday the 23rd of January 2023, and I will see you next Sunday for the weekly forecast again, and hope you have a lovely week. hope that works for you. Just remember, it's all about hiccups. It's all about, this is like getting rid of the things that are going to, removing the obstacles that are going to create something nice and solid. So don't be afraid of it. Be bold and make it. You're learning how to make it your own. It is worthwhile pouring that much effort into. So that's the weekly forecast for week commencing January 23rd, 2023. I'm Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic. Thank you so much for joining me. Much love to you, and I will see you next week. Goodbye for now. Mwah. See you guys next week with love from me. Mwah.